Welcome to Encounter Israel, and welcome to the city of David, the very heart of ancient Jerusalem. Today we're visiting an archaeological site which many believe was the actual palace of King David. And what does this place tell us about the reign of Israel's greatest king? And do these ruins prove the Bible to be true? Let's have a look around David's palace with Zev Ornstein, the Director of International Affairs for the City of David Foundation. Zev, thanks for showing us around the city of David. Where are we now?
So 2005, our visitor center is above our heads. All of this is underground. One morning, a woman by the name of Dr. Eilat Mazar, world-renowned archaeologist, she comes into our visitor center and says, you need to move your offices. We ask her why. She says, beneath your feet, you will find the palace of King David. Now, wow. Right, it's one of those moments. What do you say to that? So we said, Dr. Mazar, based on what? So she says, the city of David is a city on a hill. This is the top of the hill. This is where you'll find the palace. So we said, Dr. Mazar, we're not going to move our visitor center just for that. What else do you have? So she shows us something discovered some 60 years ago on the slope that we're standing atop right now, which is a royal Phoenician capital. Now, this capital would have stood atop an ancient column or pillar in an important building. Phoenicia is modern-day Lebanon. And she says that this Phoenician capital proves that where we're standing is, in fact, the location of King David's palace. So we said, Dr. Mazar, what does it have to do with where King David built his palace? So she says to us, if you knew this book, the Bible, like I know this book, you wouldn't ask questions like that. We said, well, clearly we don't. Please enlighten us. And she says, if you open up to the second book of Samuel, chapter 5, verse 11, King David has done the impossible. He has conquered a city that for 3 centuries no one was able to conquer until King David comes along. And immediately after conquering Jerusalem, it says that King Hiram of Tyre sent envoys to David with cedar logs, carpenters, and stonemasons, and they built a palace for David. Dr. Mazar says, why do we find a royal Phoenician capital here in the city of David? Because it was the Phoenicians who built David's palace. So Dr. Mazar comes and she begins to dig, and she finds to the north, to the east, walls more than 20 feet thick with pottery and other organic material that she dates to 3,000 years ago, to the time of David. She announces to the world, I have discovered King David's palace.
That's amazing, letting the Bible be your guide to find this. It looks like a large palatial complex. What does this say about David himself? Some said there's no palace of David because there is no David.
So until 1993, there was a group of scholars known as the Copenhagen School, and they would say to someone visiting Jerusalem, oh, you're going to the city of David? Well, there was no David. Until an excavation in Israel's north, in a place called Tel Dan, in the Golan Heights, a large stone inscription is discovered dating to 150 years after King David would have lived, written by a man named King Hazael of Aram. He himself is mentioned in the 2 Kings. So now, what does the inscription tell us? It says that this king won a decisive military victory over a king from the house of David. And if there's a house of David, what does that mean? There's a King David. And so today, near consensus that scholars, 99% of them agree, there was in fact a historic King David. And the Bible tells us King David ruled from Jerusalem. Where was Jerusalem during the time of King David? Not the old city of Jerusalem, but where we're standing here in the city of David.
That's exciting, Zev, especially for those of us who believe in the Bible. And thanks for showing us around the city of David.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching Encounter Israel. We hope you were blessed by the teachings and stories here in the Holy Land. To learn more about the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem and how you can be a blessing to the nation of Israel, visit icej.tv. We look forward to connecting with you.